Hello and welcome. In today's webinar, we are going to be talking about our database program, Chameleon. Chameleon is used at all three of our facilities, and it houses past and present inventory of the animals in our care. Today's webinar will give you general knowledge of how the database works, how to look up animals, and some other things that I feel that you should know. I will be focusing primarily on positions that are in the adoption lobby. However, the information that I am going to give to you today is helpful to know no matter what volunteer position you hold in any of the three facilities. So let's get started. So in order to find Chameleon, it should be on all the desktops in the shelter. It's this little yellow dog head right here. You're just going to go ahead and click on it. And obviously the location here at the top, I'm at Quebec Street, so it's Q. If you're at the Buddy Center, it should say BC. And the user ID for the general login is DFLVOL, and then the password is volunteer. When you type in the password, make sure that your caps lock button is not pressed because if it is, the password will be incorrect and Chameleon won't let you in. Okay, so now we're here in Chameleon and we're going to go to Windows and you're going to select the kennel window. All right, so couple of things on this page. There's a lot to look at. It's important to note that Chameleon is separated into two different parts, and the reason this is important is because the two different parts of Chameleon search differently. So there's this top part up here, which is all of this information, animal ID, intake information, and outcome information. And then there's this section along the bottom here, if you can see my cursor moving back and forth, called special searches. So we're going to be covering both of these areas today. There are also these buttons at the top. So this little eyeglass here is how to search. So you can see it says find a record using yellow fields. So this is a search button. You can also press F12 on your keyboard. And this is clear the screen. This little clear the window here. You can also hit F11. So those are two important things to note. I'm going to show you how to search in a couple different ways, and before I began, I printed out a list of the available animals for today. So the first way we're going to search is by animal ID. So you would actually need the animal's A number in order to search this way, and you enter it into this animal ID field here at the top. Now you can press this button or you can press F12. I'm going to go ahead and click the little search. So we see that this dog's name is Devo. It's a 1-year-old white neutered American Bulldog, and this dog is an LFK 16, which is here at the Quebec Street shelter, and it's in the back of the house. The dog is available, but it's not in a viewable kennel. So this substatus here, which is ready weight, means it's ready to go up for adoption and it's waiting for an available kennel. We have staff that move ready weight animals up throughout the day. So someone could come along and ask about Devo. We would just have to go get Devo from the back of the house. You'll notice here in the comment box that there's a mandatory child visit due to fear, and there's also another note that it sounds like he loves to play ball. The intake information, this is the person that relinquished the animal. So the type is owner surrender, and the reason for the surrender is due to a landlord. It's very important to note that the person that relinquished the animal, none of that information should be given away to a patron at the counter who is interested in adopting Devo. This information is private. Please don't give any of this information about the relinquishing owner to anyone that is asking about the animal. Now, if we want to find out a little bit more about this landlord reason, we can come over here to this notepad and click on the notepad. This lists all of the notes available for this animal, and you just want to find the note memo, double click on it, and then it gives us some more information here as to why the dog was relinquished, and it gives maybe a little bit more history. This is often helpful because it helps us rehome the dog appropriately. The more information that a relinquishing patron gives us, the easier it is for us to find an appropriate home for this dog. You'll notice that there are some other notes in here as well. The flow note, just so you know, is how the animal is flowing through the shelter, where it's at in our process. This, the flow memo, is pretty much for staff only, so we know where the dog or cat or horse is in its process moving through the shelter. Under the caduceus is all of the medical notes, and this can get a little confusing, especially if an animal has a lot of medical notes. I find that for volunteers, it's easier, instead of clicking through both of these, to actually run a report on this animal's history. The report takes all of the information in the caduceus and the note memo and combines it into one kind of more organized document. So the way you do that is you come up here to reports and you hit run a report, and then you'll come over here to animal history. Click OK. And this now pulls up all the information. This is only 4 pages about Devo. And you can see here, down here at the bottom, if you can see my cursor moving around, is the relinquishing note. And if we click through, it goes through the medical history and everything. So I find that this report is much easier for volunteers to read other than clicking through the caduceus and the note memo. But it's up to you however it works best for you. Okay, let's look up an animal now by kennel number. So if you don't have the animal ID, if you don't have the animal's name, a patron comes to the desk and says, I'm interested in the dog or the cat in a specific kennel, you would just type in the kennel number here at the top, and again hit F12 or hit this little eyeglass. And so we've pulled up Gina. She's a 1-year-old black spayed border collie. She is in QCA, which is a viewable kennel. She is available for adoption. You'll notice over here in the comment box, she has a mandatory behavior consult and mandatory full family visit. Any of the behavior notes in the comment box or any restrictions that a cat or dog may have is placed there by our behavior staff. They look over the dog's history and the relinquishing statement of the owner, and also based on the behavior here in the shelter, and determine what may need to go into this comment box, what type of home that we feel would be best for this dog. Now, this dog was in foster because of nursing. So this person listed here is not the relinquishing patron. This person here is the foster parent. And so she was, it looks like Gina went out having some puppies, maybe nursing puppies, and then the foster parent brought her back, and she's now up for adoption. So we can look at that by coming down here. Now she has a lot more notes than the other dog, Devo, and so you can kind of scroll through here. It looks like originally she was, so there's no note because she wasn't relinquished. She was actually transferred, and that's how we originally got her on the 26th of January. And so she was transferred to us from dogs in Texas. So, and then it looks like we figured out that she was pregnant. And so we sent her out to foster. She also was enrolled in our Head Start program for some fear. So you can kind of read through those notes to find out more information, or again, you can do report, run a report, and go to animal history and pull up all of her information that way. Okay. let's see, I do want to show you what a hold note looks like, and then we're going to move down here to special searches. So I have the animal's ID number, and we're going to do it this way. And I do apologize, I'm a little dog heavy, and I apologize for that. I don't mean to be dog heavy, but I just ran the report for dogs, and I didn't run it for cats. So all you cat people, I apologize, but all these notes and things are the same for cats as they are for dogs. So I just wanted to show you this real briefly. So this dog's name is Kafka, it looks like. She was left in our night kennels. So the relinquishing patron didn't leave us any information, didn't leave us their information, and they only stated that they're relinquishing her due to a move. But I wanted to, if you guys can look over on the right side of your screen at this hold note. So this dog already has an adoptions hold on it. And if we want to see what that hold looks like, we're going to click on the note memo and come down here to hold and click on the hold. And it looks like this dog is on hold for someone in healthcare. If someone does want to place a hold on an animal, please have them speak to someone in customer care, and customer care staff can assist you or assist someone that's asking about the animal, and we can potentially place a hold on the animal. But this is a hold, and there can be lots of different types of holds. So if we put our cursor in this box and hit F4, so F4 is the pop-up in Chameleon, we're going to get all the different types of options that can go into this field. And so you can, scroll through and see all the different types of holds that we have. If you have questions about what a hold means or what type of hold is on an animal, please just ask one of the staff members to clarify. Sometimes you can figure it out by clicking on the hold note and reading through the note. Many times the hold note will have an expiration time for the hold. So if this dog was on the adoption floor and the hold expired today at 5 o'clock, it would say that in the hold note. So if you ever have any questions about a hold, please just ask a staff member or anyone in the adoption lobby would be able to help you. Okay, something else that I would like to show you that's very confusing to volunteers, and again, I have an animal number, so we're going to search that way. I hit F12. Well, and that didn't do exactly what I wanted to. Okay, so let me try this again. I apologize. F12. Okay, so that dink means that Chameleon can't find the animal's profile. And what that tells me is that this animal was adopted out. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And we have two dogs down here. We have one at Quebec. And we also have, okay, so it's the same dog, and it looks like maybe this dog was originally at Quebec and came from Fremont County Humane Transfer. It was adopted out by this person, and then it looks like that person brought this dog back, you can see in the intake information, brought it back to the Buddy Center, and this dog has been adopted out from the Buddy Center. Now, this is a little bit of a confusing situation because the dog was transferred to us, brought to Quebec, adopted out from Quebec, and then the dog was returned to Buddy Center. So a couple of things with this. So the first thing is up here in the kennel number, you'll notice it says BD and it doesn't say Q. So if you see anything with a BD, that means it is at the Buddy Center and it's not at the Quebec Street Shelter. So that is something to take note of. The other thing I want you to notice is down here in outcome. So notice up here at the status, it still says that the dog is available and up for adoption. However, I know that it's not because in the outcome information, it says the type was adoption at the Buddy Center. It's confusing for volunteers because they focus too much on this top portion and Chameleon does not change the status or substatus once an animal is adopted. The only way that we know that it was adopted is by this outcome information here. So it's very, very important that you're looking at the entire screen before you give any information to a patron, because the dog may have been adopted, and if you're not looking at the whole screen, you would miss that fact, and you would get the patron signed in, and then the adoption counselor is usually the one to point out that the animal was adopted. So make sure that you're looking at the whole screen, and that you're looking at this outcome information. So again, it is a little bit confusing, but this was actually a good dog to pull up, so we could see that he came in and then he was returned and he was adopted out again. Okay, so let's move on to special searches. And again, I apologize, I'm so focused here on dogs today. So down here in special searches, any of these boxes or fields, you can put your cursor in, and again, hit F4, and it will pull up the options for that box. So let's look for some cats. So if I want to look for some cats, I can click OK. And say someone is specifically looking for a kitten. Again, I put my cursor in size and I hit F4. And then we're going to come over here to these buttons. And pretty much the only button that you will ever use is this kennel button. These other buttons are more for staff. Some of them we don't use at all, and you shouldn't worry yourselves with Lost, Foster, Pet Harbor, or other shelters. We are not connected to other shelters, so we can't look at their inventory, so I don't even think that this button works. I've never tried to use it. You're pretty much just focused on this kennel button. So if we hit kennel, look at all the kittens. So we can, again, click on any one of these kittens and get information about them. Okay, so if someone comes into the shelter, they're specifically looking for a kitten, you actually don't have to fill in this field with cat. You can specifically just search under size. Again, put your cursor there, F4. You can also search for puppies if you're looking for a certain size of animal, and just make sure whatever cat you're searching for is actually an available cat. Most of these kennels are in the back of the house, and it doesn't look like we have any kittens up for adoption right now. You can also look under primary breed. So if somebody is looking for a specific breed, like an Alaskan Malamute, for example, we can select that and again hit kennel. Oh, okay, so it's mad at me because I didn't clear the field up here. So I just need to hit this box and clear it out, and then come back down here and hit kennel. It's still mad at me because we don't have any Alaskan Malamutes. Let's try something else. Okay, you'll notice that Chameleon makes a lot of dinging noises, and please don't feel like you're doing something wrong. It's a complex program, and staff gets dings too, so don't beat yourself up if Chameleon gets mad at you. It's just kind of the way Chameleon is. Okay, so I searched for German Shepherds and I hit kennel, and it looks like we have a few German Shepherds. It looks like we have one up for adoption in the RL hallway here at Quebec. And it's Slick, a 1-year-old neutered male. He is currently on an adoptions hold, and if we want to see his picture, you just hit this little arrow here and pop it up. Oh, he's adorable. And so here, that's how you would see his picture if you want to view his picture. And again, we can click here and see. So the last hold was put in yesterday, and it looks like he is on hold until 2:30 p.m. Today. So the hold will expire at 2:30, and if this gentleman doesn't come in to have Slick visit with the roommate's dog, then Slick will go back up for adoption after 2:30. Or if for some reason that visit doesn't go well, then the hold would be released. Okay, so that's how to search by breed. And then the last way I want to show you how to search is by name. So if you have the name of the animal, but you don't have the kennel number and you don't have the animal number, then you're just going to go ahead and put the name in here. And again, you're going to hit kennel. and we get a Doberman Pinscher. If you have part of a name, so if a patron comes in, or maybe you remember a dog from last week, and you're searching for that dog, and you have part of the name, and the only part of the name you can remember is, let's say, Boo, and you know it was Boo something, but you don't remember the other part of the name, you can put in percentage signs. Percentage signs represent the portion of the name that you don't remember. So if you remember that it was Boo something, but you don't remember the first part of the name or the last part of the name, you would put a percentage sign at the beginning and at the end. If you remember that it was like Boo Radley, for example, but you don't remember the Radley part, you can put the percentage sign at the end, and Chameleon will search for Boo with something missing at the end. Or if you remember, if you don't remember the beginning part of it, but you remember the ending, then just put the percentage sign at the beginning. So again, the percentage sign is the portion of the name that you don't remember. So let's just put it at both ends and hit kennel. Looks like we have a few Boo somethings, so let's see what Chameleon came up with. We have a cat named Boo Boo, 13 years old. We have Boomy, which is a rabbit actually, a 1-year-old black spayed lap. Oh, she's cute. And then we have a Pomeranian named Boo, and we have a neutered cat named Boots. And just so you know, up here, LH stands for long hair. That's what the LH stands for, but there's Boots. So this is a really good searching feature when you can't remember the whole part of the name. The last thing I want to show you is, if you do remember, so let's put Boo back in here one more time really quick. So say there was a Boo here last week when you were here for your shift, and now you can't figure out where the animal went. You want to come up here to this search back feature. And if it was last week, you can put 7 days. I would probably put 10 days. So Chameleon is going to search for all the animals in the last 10 days that have the name Boo in them. And again, you're going to hit kennel. And it looks like the only addition that we have to our Boos is this cat named Boo, 8-year-old black spayed female. And again, down here in the outcome information, this animal was adopted. So if you had fallen in love with Boo last week, wanted to know what happened to her, you could come in and see that she found her forever home, and know that hopefully she's leading the good life now. But that would be the way to search for an animal that has been outcomed. I think that's all I have for you today. If you have additional questions, you can always email me, or again, staff is around to help you at any point. But I hope you enjoyed the webinar today. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you learned a thing or two about Chameleon. Thank you for joining me.